Welcome back to the survival world, everybody. Welcome back to episode 0.1. And today we are going to transform this entire river here and this entire landscape with this lake into a beautiful desert oasis, just to make the outside of this build even more beautiful and presentable. And then we're also gonna transform this entrance right here. And although I do think that it does look quite okay right now, but that's only the shape, I use temporary blocks, mainly sandstone right here, to lay the shapes down, but we need to texture this up because it does look a bit bland as of right now. And in the next episode we're going to figure out this interior right here, and then we can eventually also get into the centerpiece of this pyramid, which will be something in this pretty dark room. But without further ado, let's collect some materials and then we can start building this beautiful oasis. So let's start off with some plants like sugarcane, as well as all of this other stuff that I found in these chests. And later we can also use all of these materials to create a really lush environment. Then we need some random materials, a lot of grass, as well as a bit of stone. And then finally we can just grab a bit of moss from our moss farm, and that should be almost everything that we need. So first let's take some grass. And with this grass, we can use it to make the transition from the desert to the water a bit smoother. And we can also add a lot of greenery on top of this grass. So let's start. Now what I think would look really good is if we connect this river right here to this bit of the river right here. So we need to get rid of all of this land right here, and later we can also build a nice little bridge over this river. And I think that looks good for now, so now we can go ahead and continue greenifying all of the edges. Alright, I am all done greenifying the edges of the river, as well as this lake over here, and this probably took the longest just because this part had so many holes in it. As you can see right here, there's one of them. And yeah, I am all done. The grass right here is already grown. Over here I put in dirt, so this grass still needs to grow. But what we are doing now is, you can see it here already, I'm gonna take some of this moss and just go ahead and place it right around the edges, because where the water is having contact with the grass should be even more vibrant because it's even more fresh. And the further we get to here, you can see we venture further into the desert, so the grass gets a bit more dry, and eventually we're going to transition right here. But for now it's just back to breaking blocks, placing blocks, and this time it's moss. And I think now would also be a great time for the comment of the day, which this episode is by Jack of Whitechapel. And he says, "What a beautiful build. I love the tree and the cliff you built." Well, thank you a lot. I feel like a beehive with some bees would add a lot of movement and life to the build, but that is just a minor opinion-based criticism. And I personally think that that is a great idea, so I have my beehive right here ready to go. Hopefully there are some bees in it, and yeah, let's head over to the shrine. And we're here. This is the build we did last episode. If you haven't checked it out already, I will link it in the info card in the top right corner of this video, so just click there and then check it out. So I think we're gonna place it right here, and let's hope that there are some bees inside. Yeah, I hear some. Maybe? Will they just pop out? Or do we need more flowers? I don't know. There we go, we have a grown-up bee and a little baby bee. And I think that is a really fantastic idea. There are a lot of flowers around here. And another bee. That is awesome. Yeah, but thanks a lot for the comment. And I really do think that it adds a lot to this area right here. But let's get back to the desert and continue working on the oasis, where I am all done covering the edges of the river with moss. So all the way from this side right here to the lake over there. And it's actually took a lot more moss than I thought it would, but I have a moss farm, so that's no problem. And now I want to transition from And now I want to transition from the grass right here to the sand right here. And I think one block that would do a great job at this is some dirt. But since the grass will spread and we won't have the dirt texture, we either need to use coarse dirt, which I used for the path here. So I think our next best option is the rooted dirt. Unfortunately, I do not have any of it, so we're gonna go on a little adventure and collect some rooted dirt. Ooh, pottery shirt, always nice. Oh, an armor trim, let's go! Yeah, I don't have that one actually, that's perfect. Oh, and look at that, we found the disc. What's it called? Come on. Relic. And I think it also sounds pretty nice. And what I also found out, that is you can get looms apparently, as well as crafting tables spawning in these ruins. Which I didn't know was a thing, but it's cool I guess. Yep, and that was pretty successful as we collected almost an entire shulker box full of this rooted dirt. So let's take a bit of this and then we can start transitioning from the grass to the sand. Let's do it. Alright, I am done placing all of the rooted dirt in, and this took quite a while, but luckily I did have enough rooted dirt. And you can already see it right here. I started placing in some palm trees, or to be exact, one palm tree for now. And also back here I detailed it with a lot of different vegetation and stuff, because that's kind of what I'm going for. And we simply have to repeat this all the way over there, as well as here and down the river. And we're gonna have to place in a lot of custom trees. And these really take forever to build, but they're so worth it. I think they look really good. Once we have them all around here, we can finally call this done and it'll actually look like an oasis. So I collected a lot of materials and I think we're gonna start by placing in all of these trees. So let's quickly get rid of this stuff which we don't need right now. So I think we're gonna start by figuring out where each tree should go and by laying out each tree stem or each tree trunk. So maybe one should go right here. And we definitely need a few along this path. Maybe another smaller but straight one right here. Alright, the tree trunks, at least for this side of the river, are in place. So let's start by placing in some of those mangrove roots, which I find work perfectly as like little branches for our trees. And then we basically just need to take some of our leaves and place them around here so that this whole thing looks like a bush. And there we go, we have our small bush. And now we just have to do this for the rest of all of these. Then we're also going to place in some leaves just spread around here to make them look like even smaller bushes. And some we can even place inside of the water. Now the next step is going through here and placing in a lot of dead bushes. So we just spread them out pretty evenly. I think that looks about right. Maybe one right here. And then we take our bone meal and bone meal the grass and get rid of all of the flowers, since those don't really look good in this environment. But just like this, a bit of grass looks fantastic. So now I basically need to repeat this whole process for all of the green spaces we have around here. So let's hop in a little time lapse. Let's go. Alright, enough time lapse for now. As you can see, I finished this part of the river right here with a lot of custom trees and also all of the bushes down below. But I do have one critique that I'd like to give to myself, and that is, in my opinion, there are too many trees. Like, it almost looks like some sort of rainforest and stuff, but it just doesn't give up this like Oasis vibe, which I'm going for. So over there and here all the way, I'm going to put in trees a bit more sparingly, just because I think it will look even better. And don't get me wrong, I think trees look great, but so the trees by itself look great, but together it's just a bit much, especially if you look at it from here, like you can only see leaves. I think I'm gonna have to reduce the amount of trees. And I would start another time lapse, but since you guys are probably already bored of time lapse, I think I'm going to finish all of this off camera, and then we can jump straight into the final reveal. So enjoy the cinematic. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like and consider subscribing if you want to see more content like this. But that's it for me guys, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.